E don shele. Queen Naomi's driver has opened up on who did that on that fateful day that Tade was being forced to take a juice that Queen Naomi didn't put inside his bag. My people, they said under the sun, truth must surely come out, that nothing is hidden truly under the sun. My correct people, before we proceed, you know say tori don dey waka for on top social media say Tadenekawo escaped poisoning in the school. And the reason why they talk say na poison because nobody now wan gree say na him wan give Tade that thing. Because you don't tell me why you want to give a child something when the mama say don't give. And now everybody is denying that they do not know anything about it. Except the teacher who was caught on the act, was pointed at Igby, and Igby said no be sure, and there was no trace. They tried, investigation went on, there was no trace. Now the Queen Naomi driver don't finally confess the person who did this. My people, before we proceed, make I first hala una better salute, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, according to the time where this information they get to you. Is your girl again, Life Just Plus. Another tori na carry come una domot how una dey. I beg if una never subscribe to this channel, kindly subscribe to the channel. And then to you, my returning subscribers, I appreciate you so much. So the information we dey try get, make we dey try give una now be say this thing where the trend say Tadenekawo was escaped poison and all that. Say we don't finally find out the person where do this thing. As Queen Naomi driver was so observant to know who did it. Now they said it's Queen Naomi's maid who put that into Tade's bag. How did it happen? They said he put this thing into Tadenekawo's bag in the school. It was not the thing that Queen Naomi packed for Tadenekawo. And because they have already told Tade, whatever mommy did not pack for you, do not eat. And then they said Queen Naomi's maid went to meet the teacher, right? Telling the teacher that, please, you have to force this boy to take this thing, that he doesn't want it to be inside his bag and his mommy that gave it to him. So you have to force him to take it, because this is the main important thing he needs to take. And that was why the teacher did that. So after all these things where they go on, the confusion done too much. Now they say the driver said he knew what happened, that he didn't know initially that it was because of that juice where Queen Naomi maid put inside that bag. And now, who gave Queen Naomi's maid that juice to put inside the bag? They said it was Olori Calabash. One thing I do not know is why the maid, Queen Naomi's maid, will collect something from Olori Calabash and give Tadenekawo. Is it that Queen Naomi know they do am well? Queen Naomi does not treat her well? Of course we know our queen is a very kind-hearted woman that does, in fact, she's a very good woman. You can't say she's not treating this maid well or anything. So why would she allow herself to be used? Why people say that maybe she's being manipulated? You know how Igby is. She is a manipulator. Sorry, Olori Calabash. She can manipulate anyone. Right? So people are saying that maybe she did manipulate the maid. And the maid might not know what she's doing. So that you don't equally blame her. Right? And it's still possible. So it was the driver that, after driver realized that all these things that are happening, all the story where they waka, Then the thing comes up for his head. He say, is it not the same juice that this maid gave to the teacher? That he saw everything, how it happened, how the maid carried the juice, went to the teacher and said, Tadenekawo does not want to take this, and this is a very good juice for his body, so he needs to take it. So force him to take it. Now the teacher is now feeling that, this is so important, and that was why he was forcing Tadenekawo to take it. Why Tade was screaming and shouting that he doesn't want to take, and that arose the school authority, and they begin to make investigation. So the driver made everybody to understand that it was the maid, and while the maid was being interrogated, it was the maid who now said it's Olori Calabash that gave it to her. That in fact, the moment she went to Olori Calabash's chambers, the Olori Calabash called her the day that they came to the palace. She came with Queen Naomi to the palace, and Olori Calabash called her, and of course she respects everybody. So when Olori Calabash called her, she knew she went there with her senses, but she didn't come out with her senses. Before she knew what was happening, Olori Calabash handed over stuff to her to give to Tade, and that was the end. She didn't know how every other thing was going, meaning that her brain has been lost. And meanwhile, this is somebody who swore an oath before kabiyesi and Queen Naomi that she will never betray Queen Naomi and kabiyesi, right? So for her to swear that oath, knowing fully well the consequences, I don't think under normal circumstances, with her sense intact and her brain, that she will go for that kind of thing, that she will purposely collect something from Olori Calabash to give Tadenekawo. And that is why they said that she was manipulated. Olori Calabash charmed her. That is just it. And under investigation, traditional investigation with Ifa priest, they confirmed that this lady was not acting with her rightful senses, that somebody charmed her. She's acting under charm. That is what the Ifa priest said. Now, that has made the maid innocent, because nobody will go do take oath for kabiyesi shrine go come they do that kind of thing. Because when I heard it, I said, you sure say this woman really take this oath? They say yes, she did. So what then prompted her to go against the oath that she took? Didn't she know the implication of it? Did she know that she's going to go in for it? She's going to be answerable if anything happened to Tadenekawo. Why did she have to involve herself in that? How much did they pay her? But later we realized that she was being manipulated. She was charmed. That was why she did what she did, and that made her case to be forgiven. As for the teacher, who is still claiming that he didn't know anything, that it's just that the maid already said force Tade to take this, and he is following the instruction according to the maid, that the maid dropped, gave instruction and leave, and he's trying to follow the instruction. So that one, I believe that one is also innocent, if this is true what happened. If it is true that they have confirmed that it's sham, that the maid was shamed for putting that, and kudos to the driver that saw everything. The driver was just paying attention to details. Yes, the driver saw everything that happened, and the driver decided to speak out, and it's good that he did. Some people will just keep quiet so that they will not involve them, but he realizing that this has to do with a human life, he has to speak up for the safety of this little boy Tadenekawo. And that was how Tade got free. And now, talking about the Jews, they were still looking for that Jew, so at least the teacher was saved anyway, because if they saw that juice at that point and asked the teacher to take it, and if anything happens to the teacher, the innocent man would have just wasted like that. So that was how I think everything, the court made everything like that, so that nobody will go in for what the person did not do. Both the teacher wouldn't have died, or anything would have happened to that teacher if he took it. But the guy is innocent. He's only saying he was working based on the instruction. Now, Olori Calabash is what they are trying to face now, to understand why Olori Calabash will have to manipulate the maid and give the maid substances to give to Tadenekawo. I think that is not fair. It is not right. If there is anything where they want they do, maybe they fight with Queen Naomi direct. Or is it because they denied her son publicly, and maybe she wants to make kabiyesi deny Tadenekawo also, so that it be 1-1? Because I don't believe that this woman might want to buy Tade. They have already taken an oath that they will never take the life of Queen Naomi or Tade. They will never do anything to them. So I believe whatever sham that this woman is putting up there, it's maybe anything he added to Tade drink, it just maybe for kabiyesi to start seeing Tade as an evil person, or maybe make Tade start to misbehave. All these and many more are the reasons why someone would want to poison a drink and give to a child. Maybe for the child to scatter, maybe for the child to to start misbehaving, or maybe for a lot of things that would make the father to hate the child. So that is what I'm hearing. If this information is true, all you need to do is to kindly comment what should be done to Olori Calabash on the comment section. And don't forget that all these are alleged and unverified information making waves on the social media and should not be regarded as facts. Thank you.